Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my journey of becoming the person that I want to be and a psychologist. Today is day 30. Let's go. It's been almost a month. Tomorrow is gonna be the, how do you call it? The milestone of 1 month of me recording. It was a big journey. Tomorrow I'm gonna talk about it, but today was an okay day, not too productive, and I'm gonna explain what I think is going on in my mind. I just now realized that I'm having that because of the ceiling, you can't see the lamp, the the light. You can't see the ceiling how it looks like, but the chandelier, I guess it's called. Uh, it makes weird looking shadows. It looks like the thing that's in your throat. Anyways, um, today I didn't read, and I just realized I'm still trying to get back to my habits that I started forming, and I think that at at the point where I was having big setbacks during these recordings during like since day 15 or something like that, I had a big setback and everything crashed literally. And since then, I it was hard to get back. And in my head, I feel like I just allowed myself to let go of all those things, let go of all of my attempts to get better. Even though I'm still doing it, I'm still trying, but it's like I made myself work so hard so quickly that at the end it just everything crashed. And I'm still trying to get back, and now I'm going in a slower momentum. I'm still trying to make first steps and not fall again, but I'm still making steps. That's the most important thing. So I'm still trying to get back to that. And I wanted to talk about something that I might have mentioned before, but it was never really a specific topic in the last 30 days. And I want to talk about peace. So this is something that in my mind, it helps me a lot to become calmer and to realize some things and not to hold any grudges or hatred towards any person. And I did talk about learning to forgive, which is one of the biggest parts of it, but I keep this very simple uh, sentence or very simple thing in my head, which is if somebody hurts you, how will you make anything better if you're going to hurt them? And that is something that I held in my head a lot. And I learned to forgive because of that reason. Because when somebody does hurt you, you do have the need, or not the need, but the want to hurt that person back because you feel like it was undeserved, or maybe even if it was deserved, you still feel anger towards that person. And anger is kind of a form of, or a connection to sadness, to something that hurts you, something that's hurtful. And usually, when there is anger, it is either you running away from your emotions, which is sadness, or having extremely intense emotions, and that doesn't mean you're running away from sadness. So it's one of the two. But yeah, it helped me a lot because I was very violent for uh 6 months, maybe even more, because I was running away from my own sadness and anger. Not anger, I was running away from my own sadness and my own emotions. And it is because the things that have happened, I mean, I already talked about it. I got destroyed by my ex and my friends. I started doing drugs. Um, it was hard to focus on my ex and just think about how of think about everything that happened, because literally every single morning, no matter what I did, it hurt. It hurt a lot. It hurt like a fucking bitch. And now, when there is an altercation or there is something happening, for example, not long ago, one of my friends from before, who also makes music, I've met him like because we were both making music. He started doing something which I didn't like at first, and at first I was like, okay, whatever, just do what you want. But we had a performing night. We were in a club, and all of us were performing, and my sister was there, my older sister, and that guy came to me, that friend, and he said, "Yo, bro, I like how your sister looks. Like, I'm telling you this, like, no joke. I want to try getting her." And I told him, "Well, my friend, she's in a fucking relationship." He's like, "Oh, no, it's okay. It's whatever. I'm still gonna try." I'm like, "Okay, whatever, bro." So he tried. It didn't work. And I was like, "Okay, whatever. I can let it slide. At least he told me." But then we were at another friend's house who I'm also not friends with, because he was also hitting on my sister at 3 a.m., which again, I have made it clear to every single person that it is, if you try to hit on my sister, you're not my friend anymore. I respect you as a person, but you've crossed the fucking line. So what happened then? We were doing freestyles, and I'm not very good at freestyles, so I usually just listen. And that guy, that friend who told me during the performing night that he wants to hit on my sister, at that night he told me, while he was freestyling, he started saying like, "Oh, your sister looks so good. She's like this, she's like that." He kept freestyling. The other friend kept laughing his ass off. I didn't find it fucking funny. And then that guy, after the freestyle, came to me. He's like, "Yo, bro, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to, whatever." I'm like, "It's fine. It's whatever." It wasn't fine, but I didn't want to get into any kind of argument, because it was clear that he didn't want to respect what I told him. He didn't want to respect my boundaries. If you think that my sister is hot, and if you want to try something with her, okay, go for it, but you're not my friend anymore. You're not my friend anymore, because if anybody touches my sister, I will kill them. Especially if it is one of my friends and they're hitting on her. It's just not a good feeling at all. It's not a good feeling. So, some time passed since then, and I went to one of his performances. We were in contact again, and we were okay. He stopped contacting my sister. But then, not long ago, my sister started working in a place where he works as well. So he was still in contact with me, and then he would only call me if he was asking for money to borrow, or for connections for somebody to give him weed, which I didn't have either of those for him. And my sister was telling me that they talk from time to time and whatever, and then at one point he made a comment which was so terrible. He was saying something like, "Oh, um, I can make a girl orgasm in less than 1 minute." And then he's like, "Do you want to see?" And I was listening to what my sister was telling me, and I was in shock. And I told her, "Look, I'm extremely angry right now, but I am going to keep quiet. I'm not gonna talk to him. If he's saying anything else, I'm gonna talk to him. Because right now I don't want to make an awkward situation at her place, but if he continues to do so, if he continues to make her uncomfortable, I'm gonna step in." So since then, he hasn't said anything, or at least I don't think that he did. My sister didn't tell me. And after that, I unfollowed him on Instagram and whatever because I'm sorry, bro, but I didn't tell him why. But if he would ever ask me, I would tell him. And the thing is, every single time that I do get pissed off, my first way of talking to someone that I have a problem with, I state my issues with them clearly, openly, and I tell them I did not like that you did that. I do not like it. That's crossing my boundaries. That's not respectful in my opinion. And then I see how they react. If they react like, "Oh, I don't give a fuck, whatever," okay, we're not friends anymore. If they continue doing something that's, if they continue making uncomfortable jokes or doing weird things towards anybody who's close to me, especially if it's a female, then we're gonna have an issue. Thankfully, since then, I mean, it never happened. There was never really an altercation to that point where I would turn into aggression. And a lot of things did happen in my life apart from this, what I just told you, like family related, you know. And a lot of people, I tell some people my story, and they go like, "I feel bad for you, and I'm shocked that you're a good person." And then I look at them, and then I'm shocked that they're even saying that. Because I get that when things in your life, when really bad things in your life happen, you it is normal for you to act badly, to act aggressively, to an extent. At one point, you have to realize that that's not how you should be. That's not who you are. At that point, you just realize that you're not controlling your own life, but the bad thing that happened before is now controlling you. You're doing bad things, you're being an alcoholic, you're being aggressive, you're being angry, you're beating up people because of something that someone else did to you. And I'm not talking about extremes. I'm not talking about, oh, somebody. I'm not talking about, I don't know, some a serial killer got into your house and fucking killed your family. That's a whole different thing, extremely traumatic. But like, somebody left you, your ex fucked you up, your father was like this, your mother was like that. At one point, you're gonna have you should start working on yourself, and if you do start working on yourself and you get over, not over, but you accept the fact that all of that happened to you, you are going to be in so much peace. Because look, some with my dad, this whole story happened, my father and my mother got divorced when I was like 4, I think, or I think I was 4. And either way, we were great. I was seeing my dad almost every weekend and we were having fun and whatever. And then when I was 9 or 10, I went to Abu Dhabi with my mother and my stepdad, and my dad gave them his blessing to allow us to go because he's also one of our guardians still. And it was all fine, it was all great. We were coming every summer and we would see him, and it was fine. We were going to Greece, we were enjoying our time. He was our father. But then at one point, he found his now wife, who is like 20 years younger than him. That doesn't matter, but what matters is she went through some traumatic experiences with her family. However, she did not get rid of them, and she did not try. And how do I know this? I did not talk to her about it. However, she successfully manipulated my father, and somehow my father got manipulated by a woman who could be the age of his fucking child, but whatever. She manipulated him into him thinking that all of his good relations with our family is not normal. And look, if he was fine with it for what, 15 years, something around 15 years, if he was fine with it for like 10, 15 years, why would it not be okay now? If he's having a good life, if he's enjoying his life, what's wrong with that? He's not with my mother anymore. However, they were good friends. They were talking. They were fine. My mother did do something bad, and like he had every reason to divorce her. However, after all of that happened, he forgave her, which is a great thing, because my mother really felt bad about it, and what happened happened. It is what it is. I mean, I can't talk, I can't say exactly what happened and what their thought process was, because I'm not their psychologist and I don't talk to my father anymore. But anyways, when that happened, uh, my father was still paying child support. And anyways, after some time passed, we were still in Abu Dhabi, and we came back to Serbia in winter to visit. In like, it was 2017, I think. And our father, told us, to me and my sister, he's like, oh, he saw us once. We came earlier because we wanted to see him. He sat us down and he told us that he cannot see us because him and his, at the time, girlfriend, now wife, they're having issues in their relationship. So then you could see that he chose his girlfriend over his kids. And I guess that our relationship got a bit disconnected because we weren't living in the same country. But it was still extremely shocking, especially for a kid who's 13, 14. I was 13, 14 at the time. And also to mention, we went there during summer also in 2017. This was prior to what I just talked about. We went to Greece with our dad and with his girlfriend, me and my sister and I. And during the whole 1 week or 2 weeks of our vacation, they had their own separate hotel room. We had our own separate hotel room, and we never saw them. They told us to go and hang out with other people. So he couldn't see my perspective, but that was extremely hurtful, because I came there to see my father, who I looked up to, and he just, like, I was so excited to go to Greece and just have fun with him, and then he tells my sister and I that we should go with and meet some other Serbian people that are having a vacation in Greece. I didn't go there for fucking random Serbians. I went to Greece with you, and I'm expecting to go to the vacation and enjoy the vacation with you. It doesn't make any sense. So after all of that, 2017 and whatever, my sister didn't want to talk to him, especially when he said that we're not going to be going to that same place in Greece as we were going for the last 10 years, because his girlfriend, now wife, girlfriend at the time, said that she doesn't like it. Guess what happened in 2018 during summer? They went to that same exact place for their honeymoon. For their honeymoon. So at that point, you could now see that his girlfriend at the time did not want to see us. She did not like us. So yeah, after that, we came back to Serbia in 2020. My relationship with my father was very bad. I mean, I tried to like understand what the fuck was going on, but everything that he was saying just didn't make any sense. And then there was the issue with the child support, and my mother told him, like, okay, you should start paying for child support now because we're losing money, because we lost our stepdad lost his job because of COVID, and we came back to Serbia because of COVID. Please start paying back the child support. And he said, I will not. My mother said, please do. I do not want to go to court for this. Just pay for the child support. The child support that they agreed upon was not that bad. It wasn't that, the price wasn't that high. It was actually pretty low. And he said he will not. So I was 17 at the time, so I couldn't go to the court, but my mother and my sister went to court. And then, I don't know what the fuck happened. My father thought that my mother was using the child support for herself and not for us, so he didn't want to pay for the child support. Now, this is in his mind probably what he was thinking about. He thought that it would have been a great idea to decide, oh, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the court. I'm gonna tell the judge that my son is not my biological son and that I have deformities, that my son has deformities, that my son has, he's abnormally tall, and that he has, and that's it, deformities, abnormally tall, and not his biological father. My mother stood in shock. She was about to pass out. I couldn't see, but whatever. I was playing games. I was at home. And my sister came home and she sat next to me. She's like, Milos, I need you to pause the game. I'm gonna have to tell you something that he said. And then when she told me that, I at first laughed, and then my father started texting me and whatever. And either way, it's a very, very long story, and the video is already 21 minutes long. But some time passed, and later on in 2024, in 2023, I went to see him. I wanted to talk to him. Just realized he wasn't there. My father that I was looking up to just didn't exist anymore. And in 2024, we found out that our grandma from my father's side passed, because I asked my father how he is, because I wanted to give peace. I wanted to show love and appreciation and to tell him that I forgive him, because I was working up to being a better person. And he said, oh, I'm fine, blah, blah, blah. And then he said, my mother, your grandma, has passed away. I'm like, what the fuck, when? And he told me, oh, a week ago, last Sunday, there was the funeral. We did not get invited. We were not told. So after that, I told my whole family. My grandpa tried to call the other grandpa from my dad's side. My father answered him. Grandpa started telling him that he should be ashamed of himself and what he has been doing. And then my father called me. I was working at the time, and he called me. I went outside the shop. And then, all in all, he told me, oh, you're spreading information about me, whatever, you're working against me, you're telling everybody information. You already knew that grandma was dead. Why would you have texted me, blah blah blah? Only because I was trying to be nice. Only because I was trying to show good and forgiveness. And at the end he said, you just keep doing that and you will see. And then he said, this is not a threat. This is a promise. And I said, what will you do? And he said, you will see. My own father gave me threats. So after some time, I was angry for like 2-3 days. Then I texted him and I said, I don't see you as my dad anymore. I see you as fucking as nobody. I respect you. I want you to have a good family. I want you to have a nice life, but just don't text me. And now if I would see him, I would not feel anything, and I did forgive him. However, forgiveness does not mean that I should still have any type of connection with him. But yeah, that was one of the biggest things that I have done that shows forgiveness and what forgiveness does for you. Because if I didn't forgive him till now, I would have been in shambles. I'm not gonna lie, I would have been an angry man who just became a criminal and does drugs. But I worked on myself, and this is what I'm doing right now. For 30 days, I've been recording myself almost every day. Not every day, but almost every day. And I'm being a good person and I'm being a kind person. And every single person that I know would tell you the same thing about me. Only if they met me in 2023, then they would tell me that I'm a fucking devil. But I would have stayed like that, but I didn't. But I didn't. And everybody should do that, because when you spread peace, when you forgive, even my own fucking father gave me threats and I forgave him. I forgave him because it doesn't matter anymore. You're going to allow another person to control your life and your emotions. Don't let them do that. Do what you want to do. And by doing what you want to do, you first have to forgive. You first have to forgive. You cannot know how to be free when you don't know how to forgive and how to show peace and how to give peace, because then you're not peaceful. You can never be peaceful. You just have to accept everything that happens. And none of us deserve this bad shit, but it just happens. You don't get what you deserve. You get what you get. You get what you fucking take. But yeah, that was it. It was a big rant. I don't even know how I'm gonna title this video. How I forgave my father. And then in brackets, peace or some shit. Not that. That sounds terrible. But yeah, this is the longest video I've made, I think. And I don't know when my memory is gonna die. Thank you so much for watching day 30. I'll see you tomorrow in day 31. Thank you all if you've been watching. I appreciate you. If there is anything you want to talk about or any topic that you want me to talk about, go for it. Anyways, this has been your boy, Milos. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.